Good morning. It is Thursday, April 16th, and so today is just a check-in day for you. We are struggling with irony, but please, please, please remember that that is okay. You have had 2 days of actual work with this concept, and it's a new concept, and it is pretty difficult sometimes to figure it out. If we were in a classroom, we would be spending 3 weeks every day practicing this, working on it, doing different texts with it, doing different activities. So remember, cut yourself some slack. It takes time to learn things and it takes time to practice and get them right. Okay. So not knowing what's going on is totally acceptable. What's not acceptable is not trying. So those of you who turn in your exit slips and get one or two questions correct, that shows that you're not even paying attention. You're not watching the videos. You're not writing anything down. Okay. The exit slip for Monday, everybody should have gotten at least three of those questions right because they were word for word definitions from the video. So if you got less than that, that shows me that you are doing absolutely nothing. Remember, your grades still count. Okay. You need to be doing your work and reaching out so that you can go to high school. Okay. Many of you are doing awesome with it, and I really, really appreciate you. If you are falling behind, please make sure that you're reaching out. Okay, so 3 types of irony. Number one is verbal. This is the one that I think we are all best at. It is sarcasm. So if anybody is speaking and the thing that they're saying is not what they mean, it's verbal irony. Okay. A lot of you put sarcasm. I understand that's just kind of easier, but make sure that when we're talking specifically about irony, you're using the term verbal irony. Our second type is situational. So this is just when anything is happening that is the opposite of what you expect. So it could be as subtle as in a story, you see somebody acting one way at the beginning, and the ending, they're acting a way that you would not have expected. An example from Disney is Monsters Inc. So if you think of that movie, the whole movie is based off of situational irony because it is ironic that the monsters are scared of the children instead of the children being scared of the monsters. Okay. So that is the opposite of what you'd expect. So when Boo comes out and they're all like, oh my God, it's a child, that is situational irony because you do not expect that. It's supposed to be the opposite. Okay. And another example for our last type, so dramatic irony, is when the audience, so you, the reader or the viewer or somebody else, knows something that the characters don't know. Okay, so another example from Disney that I think we all know is if you think about The Lion King, the whole movie is based off of Simba leaving because he feels that it was his fault that his father died. But we, the audience, know that Scar killed Mufasa. We got to see that moment of him like clawing his hands and dropping him into that horde of wildebeests and stuff. So that's dramatic irony because we know something that our main character does not know. Okay? So hopefully those examples help to clear it up a little bit. I do want to look at just a couple of things from the independent practice from yesterday. So with these shorter ones, a lot of us got them. So Microsoft's new chief executive officer completes all her work on an Apple computer. So Microsoft, you would expect that she would use a Microsoft product, but instead she's using an Apple computer, making it ironic. So that's situational irony. Number two, as the teacher handed back her graded exams, the kid next to me muttered, oh, great. Some of you can feel this, right? That's verbal irony. He's not serious. He's looking at it and he's going, oh, great. Ugh. So you can infer that he did really bad on it and he's not being like, yahoo, I got a 3. He's like, oh, geez. Okay. So I think that with those shorter ones, we're getting it. The thing that we struggle with is when it's in the longer passages, okay? So irony is not always in your face, oh, this situation is so weird. So if you look at our example right here from the independent practice yesterday, I know a lot of people struggled with this one. So let's go over it really quick. I'm not going to read it to you because you should have read this already. But we are thinking, how is this ironic? There is situational irony in this story. So we have Dana and we have Isabel. And Isabel at the beginning of the story is like, oh my God, I cannot wait for my sister to leave. I'm going to have my own room. I'm going to have all of this space to myself. I'm going to be living the dream. She is so excited about her sister leaving. But then at the end, she is sobbing right? So she's crying and crying, and then she hears her sister say, I'll see you at Thanksgiving, and she's like, okay, I can make it to Thanksgiving. I'm going to miss her so much. So, because of the way she acted in the beginning of the story, we would not expect her at the end to be so sad, right? At the beginning, she's like, oh, yeah, can't wait for my sister to leave. Yahoo, gonna be living the dream. And then at the end, she is so sad and she really, really misses her sister and she's worried about being apart from her for so long. So, because we wouldn't expect that based on how our character acted at the beginning, it's ironic. So, it's an example of situational irony. Okay? So irony is not always these like humorous examples. I know that like a lot of the short ones we've worked on have been kind of like silly examples. That's not always the case. Okay? Sometimes it is just the difference between the way a character responds and how you expect them to respond. All right. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I have office hours with Miss Marlowe and Mr. Hartfield at 2 today. So it's the same link, but I will repost it as always. Um, those of you who have been on there and have like done some work where I've been able to help you, I think that you know that it's beneficial. If you're struggling, I would advise you to come on there and you and I can go over the exit slip examples and kind of talk our way through it, okay? It's easier if I can really like break it down for you individually and help you get there because we can't have a conversation through this video. All right? Continue reaching out. Please, please, please join the office hours if you have questions. Don't join the office hours if you're just going to sit there and breathe at us. That's weird. We don't need to do that. Okay. IXL practice is really beneficial. I posted the codes that were going to be helpful on Tuesday. So if you look back at the 14th post, you'll see that on there. One last reminder, just for those of you who are struggling with finding things. I should have pulled this up before. On Google Classroom, please make sure you always go to the classwork tab, okay? So if you look here, sometimes things pop up weird or they're out of order on the stream. So going to the classwork tab, and then I organize everything by weeks. So the first week of school was right there. The second week, right there. We are in the third week right now, and I put every single date, okay? So it should make it easier. Make sure you always open it because you will not see all of the attachments if you do not open it, which means that a lot of you have been turning things in blank when you just didn't know that it wasn't there, okay? So make sure that you're getting everything completed. I will be giving feedback today, and I miss you and I love you and I'm here for you. And if you need any help or just need to talk about anything going on, let me know. Quarantine is weird and we're all kind of struggling. So I'm here for you. Reach out. Love you all. Talk to you later.